Okay, let's start with explanation of the code. I'm going to show you first the first portion of the code, which is the first version. The first version only has pretty much 8 rungs overall. The 2 given at the beginning, and then the 6 rungs made of 3 timers, and also 3 rungs that is in charge of having XICs that will energize an output. Also, those outputs will have like a on-latch output that we just get turn off the the lights themselves. So as you can see, we can start. Okay, this is not as clean as it used to. Like it should be right on other parts of the code. The code versions we're gonna show later. But this code goes like from execution time. So we start with a red timer that goes reference 0 and starts from 12 and accumulates until 12. Then it goes, well, that is enabled. That will energize the red light, and also will turn off the amber light. It will unlatch it because since we're working in a circuit, in a cycle, it will just make sure it's unlatched. Overall, now I think about it, and we don't really need it because we're resetting everything. But it's good. I guess it would be good practice just keep it off just in case. And I mean, the process repeats itself with a green light, but instead of 12 seconds, it's gonna be 8 seconds as a preset. With reference to, as you can see, it will enable the green light and will unlatch the red light. And yeah, the same goes for the amber light. It will go after the timer is done for green light, and then it will turn on for 4 seconds, and it will also activate amber light when it's enabled, and will unlatch the green light. And at the end, we just have a timer amber in the done version, so we can reset the red timer and we can start the cycle over again. Yeah, and now we have the second version of the code, which is the we had to, instead of having 12 8 seconds and 4 seconds only in one section, we're gonna have them both happening at the same time. One is gonna be red, the other is gonna be going green and yellow, and then you're gonna switch places, just like a normal traffic light. So I mean, we have the rung. Now we have all the rungs from timers like in order, so it's easier to code and program and troubleshoot overall. Especially troubleshoot, it was hard to troubleshoot with everything go in from execution time. Plus, since we're now working with different versions using different timers, working with execution time will be harder. So instead we have to declare all the timers at the beginning. So it's the same logic. Once one timer, for example, because we start with left green, which is gonna be the lights on the side. Everything that is left is pretty much like all the lights on the side. That once the green one is on, then the next is gonna be everything that enables the green light is gonna turn on, and then after it's done, that done timer XIC will enable the other timer, and so on and so on. So every time one is done, the next one will continue happening, and it goes from green light for the sides, and then left from the sides, and then front green light, and we're gonna finish the timers with the front amber, which really doesn't matter, but like that's like a good way to work it out. And yeah, okay, now after the timers, we can see the first. We start with the front red light that is gonna work like a sort of a or statement, because whether the green light's on or the amber light's on, it's gonna happen. And we have an XIO that will turn off the light whenever that action in particular. For example, we chose a T for after the T4 tree happened, so it doesn't repeat again. So it doesn't overheat or overlap between each other. So it's gonna be like a shining light, and we don't want that, because why would you want a red light shining? So it was just like an overheating problem. It still could happen. I don't think it happens right now. Like this code is fully functional to our requirements. I even tested it out, but it's not fully efficient yet. It's a problem I fixed. I fixed it on the third version, but it's good practice to show that I have it right here. that it works. It works perfectly fine. There's like no issues like whatsoever. You can even test it on your own, and there's no issues whatsoever. But yeah, anyways, I mean, there's not much change from previous versions of the code. With the left green, it's gonna turn on. It's gonna turn off the red light from the past, and then the yellow is gonna turn on, and then it's gonna turn off the green one. And the same logic applies to the second usage of the OR gate, so OR statement. And yeah, pretty much this code is fairly simple to read. Like, it's just like the same cycle happening over again. And yeah, there's a few there's a few XIOs that will just prevent overlapping. And at the end, instead of finishing with the last time we finished with the amber light, sorry, with the we finished with the first amber light. Now, since we have 4 gates, we finish with the 4th one, which is the front amber light. Yeah, overall, this is very simple to follow. It restarts again, the cycle goes over again, and then we go through the 3rd one. I think I'm gonna explain first, and then I'm gonna show you how it works. Right, so this is the code overall. We start with a declaration of, as you can see, 5 timers right here. There's a 6th one in the next screenshot. We start with the same 4 timers from before, the 2 green lights, the 2 amber lights, and we have 2 extra timers for the first overlap and the second overlap. They follow the same logic. Once one happens, the other is going to happen. We start with the first, with the left green light happening first, the green light timer, then the left amber light timer, then the first overlap, and then we go again with the second or front green light timer, then the second front amber timer, and we finish with the second overlap timer. Overall, what's the newest thing? It's the OR gate. Sorry, OR statement. It has multiple inputs. I don't know if I would call it 4 or 3 input statement. I call it 4 input because there's 4 inputs overall. Like, it follows 4 inputs. But to be fair, it's a 3-way OR statements with a nested OR gate. So it all depends on interpretation. But overall, what this does is, like, if whether the green light or the amber light is on, the front red light is gonna be on. So these ones are in a green light. When something's green or yellow, the others should be red. And then the first overlap, it's gonna happen once, and with XIO to prevent overlapping, and then with the second overlap of red lights, there's no point of having an XIO because that's like the last part of the code. So there's no point of it. It will be a waste of XIOs. Oh yeah, to fix the unlatch problem, I deleted all the unlatch out statements because it was useful at the beginning and the first version of the code, because there was no 2 things. There was no 2 lights happening at the same time. But now, since we have a timer working twice with lights, especially with overlapping, it was very inefficient. So now, yeah, we got rid of the all the unlatch, and the lights go turning on and off with just XIOs. And as you can see, the same logic like from before, from the green light and the amber light. And this is the 3rd part of the code. It's the same thing. The triple 4-way OR gate for the second red light, and at the end we have the timer reset. Now, since the last portion of the code is or the timer should be the second overlap for the 2 red lights, that's what's gonna turn on the reset for the left green light, and everything's gonna happen again. So now I'm gonna show you the video. Okay. Let me turn on the download the code so you can see it. I am using OBS Studio. It's hard to handle sometimes, but you know, it's always, you just have to set all this stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna wait for it to restart. I'm just gonna show you all the code. As you can see, it's running. Just show you how the traffic light's working. As you can see, it's working perfectly. It's exchanging over time. This is all the code that is being shown at the same time as the traffic light is going on. As you can see, there's no overlapping or overheating anymore. Like there's no shimmering lights. As if you could try, I don't know, maybe the second version of the code. Like it's still overheating, but it's still functional. So I don't think there's any like way to get points off of it, because you know it's still functional. But yeah, I players don't park button. As you can see, all the cars are waiting for the red light or green light. Since I made it bigger, it looks funny, but it's following a certain logic. Like the cars are stopping with the red light, and they're going on with the green light itself. So there's no crashes, as you can see. I think the video shows when the code starts from 0. So here you go. After this one starts to red, the code begins. So as you can see, we can see a start from the 8 seconds. The first timer goes 8 seconds, and then the yellow light in the left switches back, and then both reds are same time for 2 seconds, and then right away the green light from the front one goes on for 8 seconds, while the other one is red. Then it goes to yellow for 4 seconds, and after that the two red lights are on together. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It restarts again, there's no overheating, and everything goes just fine. Thank you.